forgot, because just by saying so, that wouldn't have worked.
There's some kind of document that says they came.
Yeah.
And that was the only entanglement you had to that place. No love, no.
That's
just
right.
the basketball.
Basketball. Giving up basketball was huge for me. I loved playing that game. I started playing basketball when I was 18. Mm-hmm. That's a little late.
Are you better offensive, defensive? What do you like more? Do you like to shoot from a distance? Do you like layup?
I was a runner. I was
Fast.
very quick on my feet, and I was a good jumper too. I typically played the 4 position.
What's that?
Forward.
Oh, the forward position.
Position. But anyway, so that was the hardest for me to give up. And the other thing that I remember I had to do, to hand in my party document to the party secretary of the university. And he made a comment, yeah, we probably won't hear much about you, but we know that you're going to do something very important. So he sort of had an inkling that I'm going to go someplace undercover or something like that. And then I packed my bags and got on a train to Berlin for another one of those secret meetings with my new handler, Nikolai. So, and here came another test that would have been quite easy to fail. So, all right, I had lived in Jena for 6 years in a dorm. Even when I became an employee of the university, they didn't have apartments. I was still living in a dorm in a single room with a bed, a chair, and a table, and a toilet down the hallway. So I figured, Berlin KGB, I'm gonna get a nice apartment, right? And so Nikolai took me into his car. We started talking a little bit, and then he said, I have a task for you already. Your first task is to find yourself a place to live. I mean, I don't think I showed it in my face, but my heart dropped like down into my pants. I knew this was nearly impossible, because there was a severe shortage of housing in everywhere in Germany, East Germany, and all the apartments and homes were controlled by the government. There were long waiting lists. I knew couples that were promised maybe to get an apartment 5 years down the road. So then they would postpone the decision to have a child. Anyway, this was impossible. But this was a test. Okay, so because I had to be inventive now. I had to figure out how to get out of an impossible situation. I didn't realize it then at all. I just went with the flow. What do I do? So what I did, I took the train, the city train, to the very last stop, a little town called Akna. And I wandered around in that town and knocked on doors and asked people if they knew where somebody might have a place to live. And after a couple of hours, somebody said, "There's this lady and they gave me the address." And I talked to the lady, and she said, "I happen to have a place that you might where you might be able to stay." It was an outbuilding. I don't know what it served. It was not a garage. It was concrete, and it had a bed and a chair, a running cold water, and a stove, a cold stove. That was going to be
pretty basic. Pretty basic.
Pretty basic? Are you kidding me?
That's the
toilet across the yard, of course.
Yeah. Well, all the essentials. What are you complaining about? So you were right. You're right. You had to run the special. James Bond had to run the special operation out of the outhouse.
To